Again, this one. Okay. Arrest, mark.
And sense of the loud section.
Section 3.
Section 3, sorry.
And sense of blue.
Do we continue?
What?
Do we continue the previous instruction?
No.
No. I've forgotten what it was.
Census 3,
Arrest mark.
Sense of 3.
arrest mark, and sense of blue, wasn't it?
That's right.
That's great. It's a blue.
Burn, arrest Vicky, arrest Alice, burn extended techniques.
Sensor section 7, 0.
Just sensor section 7.
Sensor red, sensor yellow, sensor green, sensor blue.
Can we burn red, burn yellow, burn green, and arrest mark?
Arrest everybody and burn sections 1 through 8.
Okay. Take my notebook.
The colours. I didn't notice that my blue was blue.
The idea for this piece started while I was reading a text, politically based. And I thought, how many times would this text have burned in the past? Or how many people decided not to publish it? So this started from burned books, actually. That's why I have the word burned indicated. And I was wondering what happens when we try to censor a work of art. Is it destroyed or is it turned to something different? So I want to start a discussion on this. And on this discussion, as we've seen here, you're not allowed to say the wrong words. If you want to have a look. And so my first question on this was, is it, in that case, censorship or taste? I mean, did you remove the material because you didn't want to hear it, or because you like to hear something different? It was the game, or
There's a certain sense of wanting to play with the ensemble and see what happens when things are removed. So there's I think, probably because we're a room full of composers, it's too good an opportunity.
But I also like the idea, the notion that you don't know the effect of what you say will do. And that,
Yes.
I think, is a nice mapping onto your
but you know, for example,
subject.
this
And
is
the fact that if we
James can't talk for 2 minutes. You said first.
Did I? And so did Mark.
And so did Mark.
So did Mark.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because censorship is, in a way, the process was that the censorship meant that people were hearing new things despite the removal of things, whereas censorship normally is to remove things as a kind of to avoid those possibilities.
because you don't agree with something.
Yeah. Whereas in this situation, people were suggesting things to create another possibility.
Mm-hmm. Do you try to avoid the censorship somehow? For example, I don't have your notes, so it's different. Before I go there, let's start from something else. How did you decide? How did you make those decisions? And as a group, and as someone who could change an artwork.
I conversed with Matthew during the frames experience. think myself and Matthew were trying to be playful, to disrupt, and to evoke personalities to come out a bit.
Did you change your decisions the second time
Is that
round
the next question?
after you'd heard the material?
Yes,
Yes.
because the group had experience of hearing particular things.
But how do you know what you're hearing in relation? I suppose there's some,
Right.
there is,
Yes.
you've got a list of what the sections are.
I didn't know, but I guessed that by removing certain things, or a lot of things, it would create big gaps and holes for something to happen that might be unexpected.
Although I noticed that some of your choices were, in particular the second time round, were to censor them all rather than burn them.
Yes, because I wanted to
Are you
hear...
reading it?
No, because I wanted to hear what other sounds you would play if you had to play lots of them.
And I was wondering about the choices you make with this with the. What,
Yes.
how did you choose what to replace things with?
Ease.
Pretty much just what came to mind.
Panic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a set of choices?
No.
Oh, okay.
And I'd say I was inconsistent with my choices, and it's not clear if everything's meant to be replaced with the same choice or if that can change, but
It's not clear on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It's your choice.
I think if there were, when it's a section or a small number of colours.
Out. That's it. You're out completely.
I didn't feel that I was censoring the group. I saw it more as a process of discovery, but I do feel censored now.
me too.
So is censorship creative? Is censorship creative?
Can that be a side effect?
Yes,
Forces.
yes.
You can find
Find
out.
certain people who create things, and when faced with certain instructions, they then do something creative, like, for instance, Cole Porter couldn't be direct about certain topics, let's misbehave, etc., but could be coy about it, and through that, you know what I'm saying?
Get round censorship.
Get around the...
Get around censorship. Yeah,
Our
forced him to make decisions that turned out to be entertaining.
Isn't it implied in censorship, though, that it is for a reason of gagging, for want of a better word? And this, in a way, we're doing something else. I'd just like to say the subdivisions of red, blue, green.
Erasure and censorship don't feel the same.
it also as a performer because we were trying to stay together.
I didn't get any political overtones from censoring. It was a creative task for me.
That's what I
did. I found it to be could have been a political statement in that things still happened given certain boundaries. So we couldn't totally
This is also a different situation because in this situation the people doing the censoring are the people who are censored, whereas before this group was censoring that group.
Exactly. So
So-
the question is, did you feel like being censored? Okay.
I didn't feel censored. It was a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And by and large, I
Did you have
spent
to
most of
find-
the time confused, which was quite a nice sport. And as you say, then the process gives a different
But you said before the word panic, so you had to find something to do,
Yes.
or so.
And it's not something
That's
that you can prepare for, so
Exactly.
that makes it a more pressured environment to be in
As a
as a performer.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Can I talk a bit? Even on the go through where everything was censored, I didn't feel censored because as a collective there was necessity to still remain in the same place, so it still felt musical.
And also there's a point when if all the people are censored, then it becomes easier to act than if there is partial censorship and you have to be careful about what you do.
When you censor, you usually have an end that benefits yourself. And here, I didn't feel that. It felt more
But
like play.
didn't it benefit you in terms of curiosity? So you're curious, what's going to happen if I remove this, this, and this? I mean, that's another level.
But I could do
It's not,
that with leaves on a tree, and I don't think I will be censoring the tree. Would you feel powerful doing that to a tree? No.
Right. In that case. But would you do it, I mean,
Would
it's
you?
sorry.
No, you go.
It's different when you're censoring a work of art than removing things of an object.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you bound by these rules?
No.
Oh.
I was expecting this question.
I thought you were talking in a very relaxed manner.
If you cut words from a book to create a new story, is that an act of censorship of the book?
No, but if you force someone to remove the words from their book, it is censorship.
So if someone else couldn't read those words,
Mm-hmm.
that would be.
But I
Or if you had to place those words
But I was invited, not forced. Would you feel censored if
That was the next question.
everyone removed a player, like the same player, every time?
That would be
I
vindictive.
don't know. Well, quite possibly.
That would feel unpleasant.
Yeah.
Especially having come from...
But there's also something arbitrary about this process of censorship, in that when I am making a choice, I don't know what the result will be. And part of censorship is perhaps making some kind of arbitrary choice in a malevolent or possibly playful way to see what the result is on a thing that's censored, and how people experience that thing as a result.
Or perhaps we are given the good thing to say.
My question on what you said, Matt, was did you feel that you had to cut something? You had to remove something?
Yes.
Did you? Because I didn't say
you told
anywhere.
us to, and
I didn't say any. That you had to. I say you can remove any of those, but you must remove. So it wasn't necessary.
The group plays along because the group supports this endeavor. So, don't know what I'm trying to say, other than...
No, I was talking about the audience part.
There is an issue of consent, which seems important. Censorship implies a lack of consent, whereas we are all... I and everyone here...
Aren't you out? Okay.
It was
It was only his
Okay,
first
okay.
one.
I and everyone here giving the illusion of censorship, but only you have censored me and everyone else, giving us...
Okay, I think that's enough.
I was going to say false. Power.
Moving forward, how would you have somebody adjudicating, like a whistle or something?
So
If you, in like a performance situation with an unwitting public, would you have somebody adjudicating, like just
So you'd have to have a chair.
with a whistle or something, anytime somebody makes a mistake?
yes, I should do this, but I was so...
Because we ended up self-censoring.
But that's also one of the things
One of the
that-
reasons I made it like that, it's not very clear at the least. It's not like you're not allowed to say this word, that word. Was that I wanted everyone to be paying attention on this. And I didn't say anything. I didn't say you said we or you said...
We did it.
Yes, we did.
But you did it, which was part of the
We borrowed
experiment.
your rule and we did what you said.
So yes, it could be like that, the whistle or...
But maybe,
Someone could be very-
maybe it's more interesting if the group...
Because it emerges,
Decides to
isn't
do
it, from the choices that the people in the room have made. Sorry, still trying to avoid it.
We.
Because I felt,
Oh, that's another result of this experiment. You're still avoiding.
Yes, I am going to be speaking very slowly for the rest of the day. It's good.
yeah, I mean, I think I sort of spoiled it a bit because I wasn't quite sure at the beginning. I think it'd be much more fun to have those 4 bars really
With the entire,
strict, which we didn't manage. Because we were thinking,
Yes,
graphite
and I'm really sorry, in this light I really can't see the difference between black, blue and green.
Black.
I just can't see
It's
it.
really hard to...
Yellow, red is great.
Yeah.
The rest is difficult.
Yes, or all giant, or I don't know. But I'm not sure we
Or on
need
the
to pay off
background.
the school. I don't think we need to pay off the school, and then maybe we have really good. So,
Yeah,
but it's fun.
Except colours, the score, was the score okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Clear.
You
I
play off the
think
screen?
they're all possible, don't use colours.
Are you all playing off the screen?
Off the school, you
Off the
know.
I mean, if you can find...
Because colourblind
Just
person.
I was about, yeah, we
Yeah,
talked
it's
about,
Yeah. For me, colours are just the hardest thing to read quickly and
Is
I
that-
think as long as I can really, like the red I could easily,
it's the cognitive load, I think. You know, it's
Well, I think
different,
it's also-
different streams of information that
Yeah.
you're dealing with when you're trying to pick something out.
You've got
And then
simultaneous,
you
like,
kind
I've got
of
chords
measure
as
it,
well.
it's like, wait, what do they mean by that?
Mark's playing chords, so that makes a big difference.
yeah, chords with 4 different colours and
Yeah.
choose.
You could use sort of technology and then have like a button which just brings up.
You could just take it out, yeah, that exists now.
Yeah.
Or you could say if they misinterpret the rules, then they're like us.
Yeah,
we
they make
say,
mistakes.
I think actually-
they're gone.
Pitch tracking.
Scores are useful because when it's, well, not something goes wrong, but if we're waiting for something and it's not there because
We need to follow it, yes,
Yeah.
yes, you're right.
I think we do need scores.
I loved your insertions in the version when you had to insert everything. It was great.
But you get the written pattern,
Yeah, they're really
Tried,
good.
yeah.
Very good.
hear the material.
What do you think about the experience of doing the piece and then the part of the piece being a discussion afterwards? Because the second piece you've done like that, isn't it? Yeah.
I think, yeah, I mean, in the performance situation, we would just need a lot more
Yeah.
briefing and practice.
Yeah. And how it's set up, I think, is important because we all kind of relatively familiar with the possibility of doing this, but for an audience, they could be a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
confused.
even with you guys who are pretty on the concept, but just, it's like, in your notes it says, I think some people said, section, the loud section, that we just have a number on the score, so,
Yeah.
to take that information in and go convert and,
Yeah, what are the keywords we're allowed to say?
yeah.
Yeah, just streamline it.
Yeah, you could maybe even put the section
Yeah,
2 in
maybe.
bold or something, you know,
Yes.
where
Put
it's
the rest
just,
in brackets.
Yeah.
And just like, these are the words to say.
Yeah.
And how much we were allowed to do, like whether we could do 1 or 5 or...
Oh,
No,
is that not specified?
No. That's quite nice.
I think that's all right.
Because then someone took out the whole lot, and then it's...
Yeah.
That is true, I guess people started
No,
kind of
it's
coy and then it...
one time for each group. But we're
It's not
So
enough
they
to
only get to the
count.
first group, doesn't get to know what the game is really. They're kind of...
Yeah, you the first time you
but that also informs the next, you know, you go, well, what's it like with red missing, and then you can gauge
Yeah.
what your...
I just want to find the limits, like what if I did ask everyone to not play and burn
Yeah.
most of it?
And there's
That was my interest wasn't censorship, it was just,
destruction.
well, yeah, it was to see how much I could stretch it before
Yeah.
it snapped.
In a way, I mean, we could have kept going after Cliff, took everything out, but that felt like an ending, didn't it? Because then we're, in a sense, we're not censoring, we're decensoring at that point. It feels like we're adding stuff back in again,
Yeah.
which is quite fun.
Could you choose to make a political protest and not censor anything?
Yeah, that was an option, isn't
Yeah,
it?
But when you said about why did you feel like you had to choose, I think by the when it's going round, it becomes interesting to make another choice because we've heard the original state already. So
But still, as it says in the introduction, it's process of censoring. So it's not only listening to the different versions of the piece. in that case. But everyone did it.
I think the thing I was going to say until I disqualified myself mid-sentence was that there's a sort of peer pressure, isn't there? That there is an expectation that because we're going around the groups that we have to do something.
But is there something about having something with that dynamic of choosing and not choosing about? Because, like, in a way, the way it happened here, I can't imagine it coming to me anyway and thinking, oh, I won't choose because I'd like to, because the situation allows another possibility there. So is there something about not choosing having a benefit as well?
No, this is your choice. And that's why I asked, why did you do it? And how did you take the decisions? And did you say that, I don't want to have any tonal symptoms, I'll remove all tonal symptoms, for example? Or did you just pick different materials?
I think for me, I don't know how you guys felt, but there's a thing about consequence and effect in here. You know, when you if you burn, like various iconic political dark times have, but the burning of books is to actually remove that knowledge and actually get rid of it. You can't, if that process is fulfilled, then you can't replace what has been taken away. Whereas here, what makes it feel less is that everyone can, there's no consequence. Whereas I wonder it would be interesting if someone makes the decision to burn Mark or to arrest Mark, whatever you say,